All right, hey everyone. I wanted to get on today to clarify some things as I posted a video yesterday about my socket that I am wearing. And just because I'm getting a lot of questions from to be amputees and new amputees and friends that aren't amputees that maybe don't understand the pain I'm going through, I thought maybe I should clarify. So this may not be a short, it might go over 3 minutes. I always feel like I'm trying to cut things quickly so that they'll go onto the shorts momentum, but I think it's important to clarify and understand some things. Number one, again, this is called a test socket. So I had surgery 6 weeks ago last Friday when I got this test socket. So the week before I went in, my prosthetist casted my leg, pulled it off, filled it with cement, and then created this hard plastic, clear plastic shell over my casting. When he pulled that off, he refines it, cleans it up, makes a little bit of changes and makes some curvatures around the hip and the groin area. And then I come back. That's what last Friday was. I come back and I get to try on the first socket he has created for my new limb. Because of the surgery I had, there was a lot of revision to it. I had a lot of bone showing in my femur back here that was skin and bone. So my surgeon not only removed a foreign object from my limb, he cleaned it up, cleaned up the bone, had to cut down some bone, redid where the muscle tissue and tissue was, and then did that Amy procedure. So there was a lot that went into my surgery. 4.5 hours, about 5 or 6 different, and then he did a full TMR, like 5 or 6 different procedures went into the one surgery. So my limb is shorter, it has less flesh, and therefore I need a totally new socket. Now, that being said, I'm kind of a brute when it comes to getting used to my socket. I'm the kind of person that will put it on, and despite the pain, I will keep putting it on, and I will stay in it no matter how I feel. So if I'm in pain, I will sit down for a little bit to relieve the pain. The problem is, as soon as you get back up, the pain is even more intense until you start trying to walk it off. That is the reason why I was using the cane around the house, just to give a little reprieve from the bone up in my groin here from being hit repeatedly with the hard plastic. Now, I go back tomorrow, and tomorrow he will hear the things I am telling him. So see, this is why I wear my prosthesis, my new socket, the test socket, for through all these things I'm going through and the pain I'm going through and the hard times. I keep it on because I get a better feel of where things don't fit right. That means that I am clearly communicating to my prosthetist tomorrow exactly where it hurts and when it hurts, what part of the step. Is it the follow through? Is it the swing? Whatever. I need to know these things. If I don't wear it, I won't be able to communicate, and it'll take me longer to get to the end result of a beautifully fitting socket, okay? Second, when I go in and I tell him where those parts are, it actually helps him then refine it. So tomorrow we go in, he will actually, I was going to say that also the other reason why I keep it on is, quite frankly, I want to be in my final socket. And I say final with quotes because I might change in about 2 months. This is not my first socket. So remember that. Anybody that's new to being an amputee, it took me 3 years at the beginning. This was 6.5 years ago. It took me 3 years to level out and get into skin fit and 16 different final sockets, meaning the kind that have the interior rubber and it fits nice and I can use it until it doesn't fit anymore. This is just a check socket, but a final socket is, I've gone through check sockets or test sockets. We've refined the way it pinches and the way it needs to shrink in some areas and expand in other areas and be cut down in specific areas or make windows in. All that happens with check sockets. So now when I go tomorrow, I have worn it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and today. I have used my leg up so much that I have noticed that I don't have any of that swelling from my surgery anymore. And so I might be in a better situation to have a socket made, a final socket made that will last me a lot longer. Therefore, when I go in tomorrow, I can tell them exactly where it hurts, where I cannot stand it anymore being in my leg. And I'm hoping that when I leave tomorrow, it won't be even touching the bruises that I've had all weekend. Then I can wear it a little bit longer, a little bit harder. And maybe I'm hoping by Friday, he doesn't know this yet, but I'm hoping Friday I can come back in and we can say, let's get the final socket made. And at that point, then he creates this part as a soft, flexible inner liner. And then we create the nice outer one that I get to paint like I did here with my decal and my auto paint that I use. That'll be this part. So I'll be redecorating a new leg. That is where we're going with all this. But that, when I tell you guys I'm going through pain, it is self-inflicted somewhat because I refuse to take it off and cave to it. A, it is character building. B, it toughens me up. C, it gives me a better glimpse into what fits where and what doesn't fit where. And I can communicate then better, more quickly, more efficiently to push through to a better socket. If I only wear it until I'm like, oh, it's starting to hurt me, I'm going to take it off, I won't have enough information to give to my prosthetist to make it a better socket. And then we're playing that game for weeks. And I, quite frankly, don't want to waste weeks of this. So I'd rather just one and done it. And I have to say, Friday was really good. By the end of the day, I had to hold my socket on because it would not stay on. Saturday was excruciating. I almost made a video Saturday, but I literally was in such a bad place and in so much pain. I had no desire to make a video. So I sucked it up. And I will tell you, I went back and looked at my steps. Saturday, I only had 2,900 steps. That's how much pain I was in. And you know what? Yesterday, I had 8,700 steps. So much better. Not that the pain's gone away, but I'm definitely, it's not, I'm getting used to it, but it's also kind of subsiding some because my body is getting used to being hit in a tender spot. It is really tender up here. It is really tender here. So when I'm hitting my ligament here and my bone in the middle of my personal area, it is very tender the first couple days. And I literally on Sunday went to church, went to Barnes and Noble, and went out to lunch with my family. And when I got home, I couldn't believe I actually was able to keep it on through all of that. So just wanted to clarify and get on here because I know so many of my friends that are two-leggers were like, oh, I hope it feels better soon. It won't, because that's what a check socket is. It's to find out what fits, what doesn't fit, where it hurts, where it's not going to hurt, how much we can have it up as high as possible, because the higher it is, the better control I have. And because I don't have that excess flesh that sticks inside of there and keeps me held in, I want to make sure I have the most length in my socket that I can get, which means it's going to get up into some personal areas and up on my butt over here. So I needed to go through that, but it isn't going to last forever. Now, I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but I do know it will be a better fit, and it won't be up in my groin so much, but it will still be the hard socket, and it'll still be uncomfortable. Like sitting down anywhere hurts. If it's a hard seat, it hurts because it's pushing up against the hard socket up into the bone. So it is what it is. This is part of the process. And that tells you a little bit about me and why I'm going through the pain. It's a choice. It's a choice so that I can better understand the fit and I can better communicate the fit to my prosthetist tomorrow. Now, I will end with the fact that today I go to PT and I'm really hoping I don't have to do stuff with my leg on because the PT I'm going to is going to help me stimulate the new muscle connections made through the surgery I had, the Amy procedure. So I'm hoping that I will learn some exercises that will help with that my PT in Boston sent to my PT here. So I'm looking forward to what I can do to improve the movement of my quad and hamstring. So I'm guessing I won't be working with my leg on, but if I do, pray for me, because it's probably going to be very painful for me to do a lot of movement in my leg. As it is, I limp right now just to get off the leg and the bone as quickly as possible. So I hope this helped. If you have been following me, please make sure you subscribe to One Leg is Enough. And if you are interested in my podcast, Beautiful Adaptive Warrior, or look up Adaptive Warrior on any podcast streaming, or my YouTube channel, Be a Warrior 360. Subscribe, share, like, everything. If you can, help me grow, because I think there is a need for transparency and realism when it comes to being an amputee. And I believe that I went through this revision this year after 6.5 years of doing really well, but having certain pains. I think it was meant to be so that I can relive this and take you all through this now that I have more of an understanding. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and please remember that one leg is enough.